ground, don't disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started, it's the hardest. Talk around, don't disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started. Yeah,
get your boots ready. We're about to go on a trip where we wrestle, nobody settling or calling it quits. You're here for the grit, betcha this stuff is amazing. You're stumbling? Welcome to the bump in the apron. Step into it, the hardest part of the ring. Here to bring fun, yeah, in this art he is king. It's the best thing, making sure you don't tap out. Don't go soft with the hardest podcast out. And it's not just another one, it's clear. Off the rest, in this content, none contest. Take the nonsense off the steps. You know it's nothing but pure gems when it's coming off the chest. Get it? Now it's time to sit and relax. Get your mind blown away, ain't no skipping this track. Have you paying more attention, no listening gap. Get everything I ever wanted, no giving it back. Yeah, back.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the... Sorry, am I yelling? I'm yelling already. I'm sorry. Welcome to the Apron Bump Podcast. I'm your host, the hardest part of the ring, known also as Kyle, known also as Little Squeaky 39 if we're AIM friends. It's a little foreshadowing, by the way, not for me, but talk a little AIM on this podcast, talk a little AOL chats, talking polos. Speaking of which, just noticed I'm still wearing my work polo, coming at ya semi-cash on this bump day, but what the hell are we even talking about? In Your House 7, what we're talking about today. Good friends, better enemies. Better enemy? Is it better or bitter enemies? Let's see here. Let's do a little research. Wouldn't want to steer you wrong. In Your House 7. Backdoor Sluts 9. No, it's not what I want. WWF. Good friends, better enemies. We got it. We got there, folks. But yes, that is the show we're discussing today. Very interesting show. Very interesting show, to say the least. That's the beauty of this podcast, at least for me, is I get to go back and watch a lot of stuff that I've never seen before, a lot of stuff I'm not aware of. And this show very much represents that. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen on this show, but there's good and bad with that. There's some stuff that I'm glad I got to see. There's some stuff I wish I hadn't seen, but we get into all of it. Lots of wacky characters, lots of awful storylines, awful segments, but also some match of the year contenders. So it's actually a very prime episode to stick around to the end, because at the end of the podcast, we'll rate the show, we'll grade it. We'll see if the show gave us any best of or worst of the year of 1996 as the hardest promotion battle continues. WWF versus WCW versus ECW. Which promotion is the hardest? Probably one of these nipples. God damn. But yeah, stick around to the end and we'll see if any cream rises to the top or if any cream curdles. Huh? That's something. We can work with that. But lots to get into on this show. But first, we got to give a shout out to my guest, Juss from the GETCHO podcast. Returning to the show, one of my favorite guests. Well, I can't say that. That makes everybody else feel inferior. One of my favorite bald Filipino guests. The GETCHO podcast. You can listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts every week. They talk some current day wrestling and some other pop culture type stuff as well, but they make it all entertaining, which a lot of podcasts forget to do nowadays. So highly recommend the GETCHO podcast. All their info in the description. Great follows on social media on the Twitter and Instagram as well. Follow me at Apron Bump, apronbump.com, Apron Bump, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Did I say TikTok already? Probably not. What else are we plugging? Wrestling Wars of the 90s. You like this era of wrestling? You like the mid-90s? I strongly suggest that you go to apronbump.com and you can go to the episodes tab at the top. You can filter down to whatever promotion, whatever era you'd like to hear me recap, me and various guests. And you can select Wrestling Wars of the, or you can select New Generation, and I'll bring you to all of those episodes, all of those reviews in chronological order. Hop on the train, choo choo, get in my caboose. And kind of lost my train of thought there, but do that, do those things. I'm a little sleepy, but with that, let's open the door and come inside your house. WWF in your house 7. Good friends, better enemies, with myself and Juss from the GETCHO podcast.
Apparently, there's a. I don't know if you saw that thing where like The Rock is involved in like a kidnap.
I saw like a headline. What is the deal with that?
So like this old TNA wrestler, Trent. I can't remember, but she's a woman.
Trinity?
And, not Trinity. Her name was like her name was like Raha Khan.
Oh yeah.
She was like a old, like back in the day. I don't even know if like from your
she was with
episode.
Scott Steiner.
Yeah, like for a brief moment. And anyway, she claims to have like somebody is having like this big elaborate scheme to like abduct her and her children, and like The Rock is the one that's like at the head of like planning this whole thing.
Well, didn't she like list like a ton of people involved?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was he just one of those people, or was he like its own thing?
Well, I don't know. It's like the more you read about it, the more it seems like a Fast and Furious plot. You know, like Rock is the head, and then you have like, because I think Johnny Depp was like one of the people named in it too. So he's like probably the guy, you know what I'm saying, doing the crimes. Like, you know, I don't know. It's weird though.
And Johnny Depp's like the guy on the computer, like hacking into the mainframe or whatever. I could do it.
You can see this is a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Look, The Rock's been in stupider movies. Let's be honest. So if DJ, if you're listening,
hey,
you know,
hey, and Johnny Depp needs a little bit of a comeback. Nothing big, something small like this. You know.
Yeah, is he not doing good in Hollywood now? Is he like blacklisted?
No, I think he's good now. Now that the whole thing came out and the truth is out there now. You know,
she's shit in his bed and
shit in his bed. I think the therapist, like when that news came out about the therapist, how like she was basically talking over him and all these things. I think, and then how her lawyers were kind of like not good at being lawyers. So.
It was a trip, man. It was entertainment for a while.
Dude. It might have been his best movie.
You know what? What's your top 3?
Johnny Depp's? Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got to go Edward Scissorhands is like top, right?
I've never seen
Edward Scissorhands. What?
I've played Edward 40 Hands, but I've never watched Edward Scissorhands.
Okay. Interesting. So yeah, that's top. Then you got to go the first Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay. He played the Sleepy Hollow. He played the head of Host Hartman.
Okay.
And then he did another one just like that where he played the Sweeney Todd. That was pretty good.
I'm realizing I haven't really seen a lot of Johnny Depp movies.
You're like, what are these?
I've heard of these movies. I haven't seen them because I'm not 87 years old like you are. But let's see, what have I seen? I've seen some of Pirates, not the porn. Well, that too, but he wasn't in that. I don't think.
No, unfortunately, no, he didn't make the cut.
Maybe the sequel he will be, but maybe Sonny will be too, right?
Oh, since we're right on the subject, hey,
she's got her buns out and all, right? So she's a dual Slammy Award winner here, a manager of the year and best buns.
Who would get that award now? Big
Best
E?
buns?
Yeah, Big E.
Ooh,
maybe.
That's a great question. Are we talking about just WWE?
WWE. Like, let's do across the board, all wrestling promotions.
Okay. So WWE, Titus O'Neil, probably.
Yeah. He's got a trunk. Or
Theory. Theory's got some.
Theory, really?
He's carrying a wagon.
Okay.
Yeah. Take a look next time you see Theory.
I to check that out. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Don't do it while we're recording because you'll just get distracted and all worked up and sweaty. We can't have that. We can't have that.
I know he talks about A-Town down, but something might be an A-Town up.
I mean, what do you think the A stands for? You know?
Oh,
right?
Okay. I feel you. Okay.
A down, face up, or whatever the song is. However
Face
you do
down,
it.
ass up. Okay.
I do it the other way personally, but to each their own.
Hey, to each their own. Right. Oh man, Hangman Page gotta be in that category, right?
That's a good one. That one that's dense. That's a dense one.
Yes. I like the way it moves after it does the layers,
right?
You know, the little bounce.
The little slow-mo action. Man, well, before this takes too much of a turn, save that for Pornhub, you know. But in your house, speaking of getting in your house, we got In Your House 7. Good friends, better enemies.
Come on.
Did you get a chance to check this show out?
Oh yeah, I've watched this show many times, and it's like I've watched it in different times too. Like mostly I watched the main event, the HBK versus Diesel match, and then just to kind of like backtrack on like when the Clique was leaving WWE. So I've seen the Razor Ramon, Vader, but this is the first time, weirdly enough, that this is the first time I actually watched it in whole, like from from start to finish. And this is the first time I've seen the Godwins versus the Body Donnas, which was I know we're kind of like starting, but like was very sleepy to watch.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad match, I guess, but the tag division just wasn't.
It wasn't good
special
back then. It wasn't good, and it was like kind of like I don't know. It was like of that time. It was the one that was like stuck in the 80s. Like everything had been kind of like pushing forward a little bit, but that division was just suffering until like maybe a year or two.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always suffered to this day.
Man, you're right.
An occasional bubble, they'll be like, "Oh, let's care about tag team wrestling," and then they'll move on from it.
True.
But you brought it up with the Clique leaving. So this is both Diesel's and Razor's last pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, I believe this is their last pay-per-view show before the Madison Square Garden curtain call.
Right.
And it's kind of weird because like, I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, but he still gets a pop, Razor.
Dude, yeah, he hasn't been on TV in a while because he got suspended. So he hasn't been on TV since before WrestleMania, which is at least a month at this point.
Right.
They love him, man.
Dude,
I mean,
like Vader couldn't do anything to get the crowd over. I mean, all Razor would do was just like a one chop, and like the Nebraska crowd would be like, "Oh yeah, woo, Cornhuskers."
Is that your Nebraska accent?
It kind of.
I mean,
it was kind of like a in between Montana and
All right.
Okay,
I'm with you. But yeah, Omaha, Nebraska. This is where the show takes place, and definitely, you kind of allude to it. It's kind of a transition period for the company because they're starting to get away from all the goofy gimmicks, although there's still some to come. So they're not completely out of it, but there's like a lot of realism elements. Like Diesel's pretty much Kevin Nash with a diesel on his chest, and
pretty much.
They got like all like the Goldust stuff. We'll get to that, trust me. But got more of an edge to it. We're not quite Attitude Era yet, but you can definitely see the seeds being planted here. Yes. And overall, man, I mean, I kind of enjoyed the show. It's a pretty. I think there's value in a pay-per-view not being super long. I mean, this one's it's sub 2 hours, as are pretty much all of these In Your Houses, at least in this era. So I enjoyed the show pretty much for the most part, and I think it's one of the best shows of '96 so far at this point.
Really?
But,
Okay.
That's not saying a lot, but
that's true. The
main event helped. I mean, the main event. We'll get to it, but
yeah,
man, that was incredible. I'd never seen any of these matches before.
Really?
But I was very impressed.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I agree. Like coming off of WrestleMania, because this is the first one after WrestleMania 12, I believe. So coming off of the WrestleMania 12, which was kind of like it was very bulky. There was a lot of things going on. The Iron Man match, the the Hollywood thing with Goldust and Roddy Piper,
The backdoor brawl,
right?
Yeah.
So it was like a very theatrical heavy, and then you go to this one, it's kind of like a real chill. Like it's I don't want to say Monday Night Raw, like, but it had elements of a Raw, like especially when you're doing the whole thing of Ultimate Warrior and Goldust doing nothing, like absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it was long. It was like almost 20 minutes.
But yeah, I mean, I guess they were gonna have a match, and then Goldust was injured, and we'll get into it. But
was he, or was it a Warrior thing? Like, oh, I'm not gonna do this, brother. I'm not gonna do.
Could have been a little bit of both. I'm not gonna work with that.
I'm not gonna work with that guy.
Do you think Ultimate Warrior is a fan of Goldust?
I think the only thing that Ultimate Warrior is a fan of is money.
Okay.
All he cares about is money. I mean, the guy, do you remember the guy? I think at this point, he changed his name just to Warrior.
Right.
Like I forgot his real name, but
Jim Hellwig.
Jim Hellwig. I think he was calling himself Warrior for real. And his whole thing was like, he wants to be a good role model for kids and all this. But like, what's a good role model like smoking a cigar? Like,
Vince McMahon was appalled. He was like, I don't believe he smokes. Vince was on one. On this show.
Dude, this one.
Those are just a few. But
it's me, Austin.
It's so funny when you hear like new generation Vince, but you hear like the Attitude Era Vince come out every once in a while. And in the main event, he's like getting pissed at.
He's a new guy now. He's got like a villainous mustache. You know what I'm saying? A little like.
He's
a different guy.
Straight out of Lazy Town. This new Vince McMahon.
Jeez, he looks like a Miami Vice drug dealer.
Ooh, he probably is. Let's be honest.
At this point, I mean, yeah.
Speaking of drugs, we got Jake Roberts here in this opening match. And Ahmed Johnson versus the team of Owen Hart and British Bulldog. It was one thing that was bizarre when I was watching this. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at everybody involved. And I'm like, Jake Roberts is the most well-off health wise today. I mean, obviously, including the ref, 3 of these guys are dead. You got Ahmed Johnson, who is today is
okay.
Ahmed Johnson, I don't know what he's doing. I'm sure he hasn't slimmed down since WCW days.
No, I'm pretty sure he's still sweating somewhere.
And Jake Roberts looks pretty much like he does now, just gray. He's probably even healthier than he is at this point.
Right. No, you're right. He is probably more healthier than this.
But we got a tag team match. We got Ahmed Johnson and Jake Roberts versus Owen Hart and British Bulldog. Camp Cornette, as that team's called. Of course, they're accompanied by Jim Cornette and Clarence Mason.
Clarence Mason.
Are you a big Clarence Mason guy?
I think when it comes to like certain managers, like he gets forgotten, and he wasn't like the best, but he was involved in a lot of like pretty decent storylines. You know what I'm saying? Like when Cornette was around, and when like, remember Paul Ellery for LOD was a pretty key manager, Bobby Heenan. So like he was like that bridge point,
he's kind of the, what's his name? Mark Sterling from AEW. He was the original.
There you go.
There we go. And Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette's, I think, is among some of the best manager work of all time. Yeah.
With the racket and the glasses.
All right, I don't know about the racket. The racket isn't my favorite part of him. The way he just talks so much, and he's so cartoony. He's entertaining, and he helps whoever he's with because he just seems so into it, which I appreciate. Right. But so the build up to this match, so in between WrestleMania and this show, they did a tour. I don't know if it was all across Europe, but they went to Germany and they showed some flashbacks to Germany when they were in the ring, and I guess Jake Roberts threw his snake all over Cornette, so now he's pissed. And so now we have this match, and the way this match starts is weird because the Owen and Bulldog come out, and then Jake comes out, and then Clarence Mason, I guess, has some sort of injunction or a writ. Is that what it's called?
I guess you could say a writ. Yeah.
I guess it was trying to prevent Jake from whipping his snake out. And Jake just rips it.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes it null and void. I don't know. But he takes his snake out, puts it on Jim Cornette. And then we get a good line from Vince.
I think he's gonna die.
So, because he faints. It was a little harsh. But then Jake leaves. He like just starts walking to the back. And then Ahmed Johnson, was he planning on not having a match? Was Ahmed not scheduled for this? Was he just wet for no reason? I don't know. But
he's like, I'm not sweaty enough. Let me add more water. Let me add more. Stall. Go ahead, stall.
He leaves a snail trail. Dude, Ahmed Johnson.
Dude, I tend to say that that's why like not a lot of high flyers like to like have a match with him, because you just make the ropes slippery.
That's why.
That's what I'm thinking.
Among
but dude,
reasons,
like Ahmed Johnson, like there was so much promise with this guy. Like, I guess he just never caught on to just being a WWF superstar, or he just didn't want to listen.
Mm-hmm.
He had the look, and his finisher, the Pearl River Plunge, I thought was really good, but he just never like caught on for some reason. I guess that's the reason why they put him with Jake, but.
Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, to call him rough around the edges at this point would be mild. But I agree, man. He had the look. He was so intense in this match, just for no reason. All the yelling he was doing. He was stomping. I think it was Owen in the corner. People just stomp a guy while they're sitting in the corner. He's doing 360 stomps for no reason. He's spinning around. He's yelling. He's punching himself for the head. Oh, he's fantastic. Maybe he just couldn't keep this energy up for however long he was there. But
right.
It's fantastic. But the match is what it is. It's an opening match. I don't even have real. I mean, the end comes when Jim Cornette hits Jake Roberts, or no, he hands the racket to Bulldog, and then Bulldog hits Jake Roberts with the racket in the knee. And then Bulldog locks in some sort of submission. I don't know what I guess a heel hook it looked like. I don't know.
That. I can't remember the name of it. Whatever move that he was capable of doing other than the chin lock,
It was like he was like setting up for a single leg Boston Crab, but he never flipped him over. He just kind of held his leg upright. I guess
right.
Old ass Jake Roberts. That's all you need to do. Taps out. Camp Cornette wins. But I thought this was fun for what it was. What about you?
I thought, you know what? I didn't mind it too much. I thought it was okay. Yeah. It's funny because Owen Hart and British Bulldog, they remain like a team even after this. Like they remain like as a tag team, or sometimes they go on singles, but they always come back being as like a team. You know what I'm saying? I guess you could say like it was early Attitude Era Hart Foundation before they became like the Hart Foundation. But they were always like with each other.
Yeah, because I think Brian Pillman, just signed at this point.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And Brett is, I think he's doing some TV show or whatever. This is after WrestleMania when he leaves.
Lonesome Dove? So. Is he doing like Lonesome Dove? Or
is that what it's called? Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Did you ever watch that show?
Oh, no. I knew when that show came on, I knew it was time for me to go to sleep.
Well, that sounds like that's some bonus content for one of our podcasts. We need to get up and some Lonesome Dove.
Watch some Lonesome Dove.
We'll watch along action. There we go. Jake Roberts, he was lonesome here as he tapped out. And Ahmed was wet. That's pretty much.
Dude, Ahmed looked like. I know we're going to win the next match, but Ahmed looked like he wasn't sure what happened. Like he looked like he wasn't sure if the match was over or he needed to do more, because he's just like left like his hands on his hips, like all right, like it's Jake is leaving, you leave too, like.
Brother, you flip that switch in Ahmed. There's no off switch. That guy just goes. He goes. He adds an extra knee pad every time I see him. I swear, for no reason. He had them on his thighs. Yeah. He's slithering around the ring.
Elbow pads. Remember, he had like 2 elbow pads, like one red, one black. Like, dude,
it's something.
Circulation doesn't mean anything. I mean, like.
Oh, also, one thing that bothered me about this, well, not just this match in particular, but it's just beginning to bother me the more I watch this era. Why is Diana Hart there every fucking match that Bulldog is? Every time.
And it's always like they have her position like second row, like right by the ring post, just so like they can do a quick you know,
the same dumb look. It's like, it's one thing if it's Bulldog and Brett, like I get it that you're torn between the two, but there's no implications here. What is she banging Ahmed Johnson at this point? I don't know.
Right, and you know what? She never seems like she's enjoying herself.
Oh, she hates wrestling, I think.
Maybe. I mean, but she's been around it her whole life. Maybe she's like, why do I have to be here? You know, they're doing nothing, you know.
Bulldog's, you better come watch me match, I says.
Oh, come on, Diane. I can't do it as good as you. But.
When you try to do that, you just sound American when you do that. Well, we got two Americans here in this next match. Nice. We got Goldust defending the Intercontinental Championship against the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh my gosh!
What a cast of characters involved. Dude. That's not enough. We got. We'll touch on it more when he gets more involved. But Goldust has a new bodyguard.
Yeah.
Who from what I understand, this was his only appearance, and I can't blame him because he didn't do his job for one.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, do you know who that bodyguard is?
I don't know who it was, but he looks like the guy that sings Mumble Number 5. That's what I thought. But
you know what? I can't tell you that I know what he looks like, but I've heard his voice and I can see it.
Maybe you see it, okay. But at first when because you know their light system wasn't as good as now. Like at first I was like, Mr. Hughes, and then as he came closer, I'm like, oh, that's not Mr. Right, because they wear the same outfit.
But no, it was Mantaur.
Oh, you mean the guy that actually becomes Mantaur?
Well, Mantaur already happened, and it was very short-lived.
Shit, it did have. Oh my gosh! Okay,
he actually went to ECW and now has come back, and now is just the unnamed bodyguard of Goldust.
Wow, man. Okay. Now I can see it now.
I mean, I would prefer if he just had the helmet, you know, the Mantaur gimmick with just being the bodyguard. He'd be more menacing, I think. But
exactly.
Who am I? But I guess
he's looking like a Dick Tracy villain.
I could see it. I could see it. He definitely needed a cigar. He was the only one in this match that didn't smoke a cigar. He was the one that looked tailor-made to be smoking a cigar. Marlena, of course,
was smoking. They all hit that. They all hit it.
They all took a hit. You're right.
You know,
and but to get to that point, so this feud, well, really, you could understand the build-up if you just watched the little clip they showed before the match. It was during the free-for-all, I guess.
Yes.
Ultimate Warrior was backstage, and then Goldust just comes up to him and blows dust at his face. And then Ultimate Warrior has the most hilarious reaction. I don't even remember what exactly he did, but it was the most Ultimate Warrior, like, oh,
yeah,
for no reason. And
super offended, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I bet. But IC title here. And Goldust, he has a knee injury, I guess. His knee's wrapped in bandages, so I don't know what the extent of it is. He walked to the ring fine, and he kind of gingerly ran away, so I don't think it's too serious.
Yeah, right.
I don't even know where the fuck it's. What did you make of what happened here,
dude? So I'm looking at this match, and I'm like, okay, so you know, it's funny because like a lot of the times when 96 is brought up, they always talk about like Shawn Michaels, you know, Bret Hart, and then the like, you know, Hunter Hearst finally coming over, and then they talk about like Stone Cold Steve Austin finally being Stone Cold, right? Mm-hmm. But they never talk about like how good of a worker Goldust was, you know. Even though like at the time he was very, very, very like ahead of his time and very kind of like, you know, rub people the wrong way. But like he could work though in the ring, like all those dark matches and all those like squash matches, he was putting in work, you know. Mm-hmm. But I feel like he's always forgotten. So shout out to him. But this match though, like there was like
a match, even is being
not even
generous.
A match, not even a match. It was like them sitting around passing the cigar, you know, puff pass, and then you had Ultimate Warrior trying to make an Ultimate Warrior type match, and just, you know, it was weird. And then remember Goldust grabs the mic. Well,
he grabs the mic because, as you know, Ultimate Warrior gets in, Goldust runs away because he's scared for whatever reason. I guess because he's injured or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Marlena drops her cigar, running out with Goldust.
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior picks up the cigar and starts smoking it. And Vince is like, "Oh God, I don't even believe he smokes." Last I checked, it's just like just meaningless, valueless quips from Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
So Warrior's in there smoking, and Goldust is pissed, but he's like, "Whatever." But then Warrior grabs the director's chair.
Oh yeah,
that's too much. And by the way, as I'm explaining this, people listening, you might be wondering, well, why doesn't the bodyguard stop him? Well, because he's a fucking pussy, apparently. He doesn't do anything to help anybody. He just yelled, "Hey, he's got the chair. That's too much."
Right.
So Warrior sits in the director's chair in the middle of the ring, smoking the cigar. And Goldust he doesn't want to go do anything about it. So what does the crowd chant at him? Oh, they chant some evil stuff. They chant some slurs, some expletives.
My audio was bad. What slurs were they?
They were chanting faggot. It was just faggot over and over again. Now, Goldust, it's like, okay, you have some of the guys, the young adults, dudes with hats and whatever. They're like yelling that at him ringside. That's like a frequently seen thing. No, all of Omaha is chanting fag. The dudes, their wives, the kids, the grandmas, everybody's just collectively coming together. Fag, fag. And I heard this, I'm like, they couldn't possibly be chanting that. So I rewound it, and you could see their mouths saying it. So it was like,
I mean,
cool.
There's the part where he pans to the crowd, and you see like a bunch of people just clearly saying it too. You know what I'm saying? But then again, does it really surprise you? I mean, they're probably not used to seeing somebody like Goldust in their area.
Yeah, probably not a lot of those in Nebraska at this point. It was just a different time too. I mean,
did much change over there in Omaha?
Oh, in Nebraska, I don't think it's changed much, but that's a very good point. Very good point. Let's say Goldust. Yeah, to your point, he grabs the mic. He's like, "If you don't stop, I'm gonna come out there and kiss all of you." Oh, this rules.
What a comeback, too. And could you imagine, like, one of the family members was telling their son, like, "See, Clarence, you better stop. He's going to come here and kiss you." "Oh, no, mother. What would that mean? Am I going to go to hell?" "Well."
Yeah. That just incensed everybody else. I ain't having this boy come up here and kiss me. If anybody's going to kiss me, it's going to be my cow.
That's how I dated your cousin now there. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is all. By the way, I guess this is all the match is what we're talking about right now.
grabbing the director's chair was the high spot.
Yeah. I would say so.
You know what I'm saying? And then maybe the false count anywhere part, was the passing of the cigar. They had the same effect,
I see. I like what you're saying.
It's kind of a new in-ring psychology, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so they were just ahead of their time.
Way ahead of their time.
I see.
Did you see the way that Ultimate Warrior only held it with his two fingers and then pass it over to Goldust?
How do you hold a cigar?
It's like some people pass it like that, but the way Goldust grabbed it, it was almost like
grabbed it with his mouth,
and then he maneuvered in. Yeah,
grabbed it with his
middle to index, and then the thumb, which is kind of difficult to do if you
The talent on this guy's endless.
I'm telling you, with gloves on, those golden ass gloves.
Well, growing up, because I was very young during this time, I thought Goldust his body was just gold. I thought that was just. I never really thought where is his balls and dick? It was, he's just a gold guy. I never put.
Well, dude, that suit did not hide anything. It was all there to see for the world to see.
He's a confident one,
dude.
This Dustin,
dude. I mean, I've said this many times, but that outfit did nothing for his ass. I mean, it was literally sometimes that ring gear would be in his ass. You know what I mean?
So he's not in the running for best buns. 1996. What you're saying?
This one, no, man, no.
It's really unfortunate.
These are dried up biscuits from Popeyes. That's the kind of buns that he got.
That's how dare you. Okay, so what's happening here? So they're smoking. By the way, now we're all just passing it, like you said. There's no hostility.
Yeah.
Warrior even helps Goldust put his rope back on. What a guy. And they're smoking. Goldust is sitting in his chair. He's passing it. He passes it to Warrior. And then Warrior gives him the old Puerto Rican, you know what the moms do. Then Goldust is hurt and then he runs away. But then Mantaur finally does something. He tries to attack Warrior, but then Warrior just beats the shit out of Mantaur and his stupid fedora and just slams him. Gets wrecked. I guess this is the sole reason Mantaur was called back, is just to get his ass kicked by Warrior.
Right.
But I guess that's the high point of his career. So, yeah, good stuff, right?
I mean, Warrior never took off his jacket, right? It was worn the whole time.
I guess he put on clothes. He put on Goldust's wig and Mantaur's fedora. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and it's so bad too because like, remember that I think in around like 2002 or 2001, WWE released that Destruction of Ultimate Warrior, that DVD.
Yeah,
and it's like I thought it was so messed up, like how they had dedicated the whole DVD just to bash somebody. But after watching this match, I can see why. Because remember in WrestleMania 12, he just has a squash match with Triple H. And apparently it was Warrior's idea just to do the whole 12-second thing. So
yeah,
I could imagine that this whole thing was probably Ultimate Warrior's idea too.
Dude, I have no, because I know his run here is pretty short lived, but I have like no recollection of anything he does in this run,
right?
Other than him squashing Triple H, but that's like the extent of it. So all of this, I had no idea, and I'm looking forward to whatever he does next. I guess
I don't think he's on anything after this. If
really?
I'm thinking, yeah, because I remember Beware of Dog is after this, and I don't remember him being on that card though. Well, I could be wrong, but
don't know. But you know who's on this card is Vader versus Razor Ramon. So I guess Razor's last WWF, well, until he comes back in 02, but which we covered. But his last run as Razor here and going up against Vader. So really what this comes down to, I guess, is Razor's on the way out. Vader's just got there. He's still getting built up. He took out Yokozuna on Raw. They had to forklift him out.
My gosh.
Vader's still a monster at this point, so let's have him pancake one of the biggest stars of the new generation here in Razor Ramon. It was fine, I guess. It was kind of boring at some points, but I don't know. I enjoy watching Razor, and I enjoy Vader, so it can only be so bad. What'd you think of this?
I thought that this was a pretty good match, even by today's standards, in terms of like, if you want to say the New Japan Strong style and just like, WWE style of wrestling. I thought this was really good. I thought the crowd sucked, obviously. But like
they're still reeling from trying not to get kissed from Goldust.
You're still traumatized by the idea of Goldust kissing the. Yeah, you're right. But they're corn huskers. What are they? All that corn syrup. You know what I'm saying? What
their assholes are filled with corn, so you can't put anything in there.
But I thought this match was good, and it is cool because like I don't think I ever seen Razor Ramon wear that ring attire, the black and gold with the gold boots. I thought that was kind of different from from like the other looks that he's had. But I thought this was a good match. I mean, defeat the strength though on Scott Hall, doing the suplexes on Vader.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you caught that part, but there's a part near the end where like Vader has Razor on the ring post, and he goes to hit him with the right hand, and I thought that was like a legit connect, like it connect for real.
Probably was.
Right, because I was trying to see like, because they talk about Vader at this time being like he couldn't let go of that strong style, so he was trying to convert over to the WWE. So there'll be times where he actually hit somebody for real. And I was trying to see that in the match, and I think that was like one of those moments. But overall, I thought this was good.
Yeah, no, that's a good point of him like transitioning his style, because I just recently watched the Rumble match where he debuted. And before he came in, you got like stupid ass Yokozuna and Mabel in there with their dumb big man forearms that WWE always has, and then Vader gets in there, he's just clubbing everybody.
Yeah,
never looks good, but always looks like it hurts.
Yeah,
that's Vader in a nutshell, I guess.
For real.
But and Razor, I mean, I love his punches too. I always loved his strikes. And he was another guy who's kind of a rough around the edges, but his stuff always looked good. And yeah, I mean, I was kind of expecting this to be more of a not a squash, but I expected it to be less 50-50 than it was.
Yeah.
But made for a pretty entertaining match. Yeah, Vader doing all his, power slams and his splashes.
Oh my gosh. There was that moment where Scott Hall connected with the that super slam off when Vader comes off the top rope or second rope.
Oh, like the yeah.
He like catches him and stuff. Like the thing that Randy Orton does.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, that's a big dude.
Even with the help of him coming off the top rope. I mean, that's impressive to get him over, and he does the electric chair to Vader too, and Vader's on the top, and he carries him halfway across the rows. Razor's a huge dude. I mean, it always gets missed because he's always next to Kevin Nash. But Razor's a 6'7" giant. He's jacked. I mean, he's big dude. So
I think next to Hogan, he was slightly taller in a way. Because Scott Hall always shrugged to be Razor Ramon.
Right.
So he never stood straight up, but because he's a big guy. Yeah. Shout out to the bad guy.
Shout out. But Razor, he goes for this match gave me indigestion.
I got you.
Razor goes for the Razor's edge onto Vader. But his ribs had been worked over the entire match with all the splashes and stuff. So he crumples, and Vader hits him with a slam. Hits him with a backdrop, and then just sits on him.
Yeah, sit down swanton.
The rump shaker.
Yeah,
which I think is what Rikishi called it, but it was just in the middle of the ring.
The Vader rump shaker.
There we go. Hey. There we go. Look, I mean, that if you get hit with that, you're not getting up.
Dude, no way. I think Razor that's the only time he's ever used that move too.
Yeah, that looked like it was a shoot rump shaker. He came down with all of his 400 pounds or whatever he is at this point. Brutal looking, but that gets the win. So Vader wins. Razor's out of here, I guess. And then I think Doc Hendricks comes out after, and
dude.
He moonwalks out there to announce that it's going to be Vader versus Yokozuna at the next In Your House, so in a month or so. And like I said, Vader had just broken Yoko's leg a couple weeks ago on Raw, so he's recovered pretty quickly. It's a miracle. But yeah, pretty good stuff. Anything else on that?
No, I just thought that, still at this point, Razor was over. It looked like Vader was kind of getting over with the crowd a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
there was more Razor fans than anything else, So I thought it was good. I thought it was a solid match for sure.
For sure. But so you're a little older than me, so let me ask you something. Did you ever talk to the Undertaker on AOL?
No. What would that be like?
He was available here.
When I saw this ad, I was like, oh wow.
He's in the room, the AOL chat room, or whatever they call it, like the room that they're doing all this stuff.
Right.
The lights are off. There's the blue light, and Undertaker's just against the wall and is all gimmicked up. You have Paul Bearer's there by the computer. Oh,
yeah, so, right.
Don't know what a AOL chat looks, an AIM chat looks with.
What would be Undertaker, his? Do you think his instant messenger thing would just be, Undertaker 24/7 or?
No, it would be like Rest in Pussy 69 or something.
What would Paul Bearer's IM instant messenger be?
Barry McCockiner. Barry McCockiner.
Barry 8 inches deep.
Oh, hello. Man, we could do a whole hour on that.
Dude. He would always, when he comes in, his first thing he says is, "Oh, yes."
Yeah, I could see that. Like the noise it makes when you log on.
Right. Yeah.
I like it. Well, we'll workshop that a little bit. We'll reach out to old Undertaker and see what his AIM name was. But did you ever, well, you didn't talk to the Undertaker, but did you ever own a WWF sports shirt and hat combination?
No, but I want that though. That to me, every time that they show these WWE, WCW, even stuff from other wrestling promotions and stuff, anytime they show the catalog, like I don't know why, I would just like, it's like, okay, I have to try to look for these, you know.
It's fire.
Dude, come on.
It's funny because watching it in 2023, like this is kind of like this stuff is back in style, like this era of clothes.
Yes,
like all the jackets and stuff is like it's actually pretty cool. I wish this number was still active.
still active, you know, because I seen you with the button down, the Rock, right? You have the Rock, or you have a couple of them, right? You have the Rock,
Roosevelts,
Roosevelts button ups. Like they've all kind of mimicked that like style, like the all over print and everything like that, and. Like, you know, you have Chalkline coming back with some similar style jackets. So, like, you know, that stuff is, to me, dope. You know, like, I don't know if you know, but, like, I go vintage shopping all the time. Right. So, like, that's some of the things I try to look for. And so, yeah, the hat, you know, so.
I mean, Todd liked it. I mean, he
There is no better way to look cool.
To look cool. I don't know why the way he says cool made me laugh so hard.
There is no better way to look cool.
I love Todd Pettengill, but he's such a corn dick.
Before we go back to move on, did you ever see anyone in your like elementary school, junior high school wearing like a wrestling shirt?
I'm sure I did. I can't really think of specific, but like back then, wrestling shirts kind of, at least some of them, you could like blend in, like
because you're like
Austin 316. It's not today when now it's just Roman Reigns, this big dumb face on a shirt, and it's the bright colors and this like the WWE logo right there,
like right front and center. Yeah,
God, as a goat.
Dude, I hate that shirt. That new one that he has with the goat. Oh, I can't. No, I can't.
You know, it's better though that I always think it's so dumb when wrestlers just have a picture of their face and they just wear the shirt of them. It looks so dumb. Like Roman had like the Godfather influenced one. It always looks so silly when he came out, but
it could work, but it also like has like its weird moments, you know. Like obviously the Britt Baker moment thing with her shirt that came out recently. And then like, but just in general, it's weird.
Did you have wrestling shirts growing up?
So I did because I was in junior high during the time of the Attitude Era, and so like basically any wrestling shirt you wore at that time was like it. You know, it was almost like Monday through Friday would be something. You know what I'm saying? Not just the boys, but the girls too. You know. Yeah,
I mean it was pop culture at that point. So
come on,
it wasn't weird.
DX was like it was either DX, Austin, or The Rock were like the number one.
Yes, yeah. It's rough to wear a suck it shirt at school though. But
oh my gosh, dude! Like one of our
teachers,
one of my classmates who was a girl, she wore that one time, like with the two words, and like it didn't hit the teacher's mind until like the end of the day.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Suck it.
It's like, that's a wrestling thing? Oh, my God.
I mean, that's the best case scenario, I feel like. Like, what else would you be sucking? He's just wearing a porn shirt.
Teachers are weird. When they're not in touch with, like, shit going on, they're just, like, they just come off as awkward, you know?
She's probably low-key at wrestling. She's probably a closet China fan.
Maybe, yeah. Like the Mr. Sacco. I remember wearing a Mr. Sacco t-shirt to school, and like the teacher was like, what is this about? Or I was like,
that's a tough one to explain. Well, he pulls the sock from his pants, and then he puts it on, and then he puts it in his opponent's mouth.
I was like, you know how Mr. Roger has a puppet? It's like his tag team partner. This is what Mr. Sacco is.
You did not just compare Mr. Sacco to Mr. Rogers' puppet.
I had to find a way to keep wearing the shirt, you know, like.
Always compare it to Mr. Rogers.
Come on. Teachers love that.
They do. But they also love pig shit, which is in this next match. We got the Godwins, the team of Henry O. Godwin and Phineas I. Godwin, with Hillbilly Jim accompanying. I don't know what the relation is there, but they're probably cousins and also brothers.
Oh, come on. Probably fathers, too. Probably that's their father.
Taking on the Body Donnas, the team of Skip and Zip. Who has the worst name in this match, do you think?
Ooh,
they're all terrible.
They're all terrible.
These are some of the worst names.
Including the God. You're talking about the Godwins, too?
Like the individual name. Yeah,
all of them, all 4 of them have horrible.
Skip,
last names.
Zip, Henry O. Godwin, Phineas I. Godwin.
Oh,
It's all. I mean, Zip. Like you couldn't find something else that rhymed with Skip.
Right.
You couldn't have gone Flip.
Flip. There you
or
go.
Rip. You
Rip.
know.
Okay. Nip, maybe.
Nip.
Pip.
There we go. Maybe it's the third one.
Pip.
Well, there's 2 nips. Oh,
What? Stupid.
it's Sonny's tits, guys. Talking about boobs.
He's stupid.
Talking about boobs. All right. Well, we're having fun. But Pig, Phineas, he starts the match. It's actually a very impressive spot. He spits a loogie up in the air, like 10 feet in the air.
That's a technical
catches
work.
it.
That's technical work right there.
That was some
Come
good
on.
work rate right there. I mean, it was
Come on.
snug. It was everything you want.
Yes.
But he catches it in his hand, rubs it in his hand,
Ooh.
and then shakes his brother's hand, I guess, and then we're off to the races. But that being said, thoughts on this match?
Dude, this was like I needed to make coffee. Like this was so bad. Like honestly, this is the only time I could agree with the crowd because they didn't know who to cheer for and who I thought they were going to cheer for. They were booing the Godwins. I thought they would be all over the Godwins. This seems like up their alley, you know. Like,
I mean, more than the wait, did you say the Godwins?
yeah, I thought
Okay,
the crowd would be cheering more for the Godwins, you know.
You would think maybe they're like maybe Nebraska and like Oklahoma don't like each other. No, where are the Godwins from? They're from.
They're from like the south, like
is it Louisiana? Something.
Hold on, let me look it up real quick.
We're gonna do some research.
We're gonna do
here.
some independent
Cool.
research right now.
Godwins, WWF. We got.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get the
Bitters, Arkansas.
Yes, damn it.
That's
How about that name? Because that's exactly what I thought about this match. It's Bitters. This is bitter.
It was bitter.
Well,
now I'm a Godwins fan. Because my dad's side of the family is from Arkansas.
really?
And
Okay.
I don't know. Have you ever been to Arkansas?
I've been past there driving to Texas, but I've never been
Okay.
into Arkansas. No.
So I don't mean to brag, but my family kind of runs Arkansas. I mean, we
Really?
have there's a Bird Fest. My last name's Bird. There's Bird Fest, which is like a music festival.
Okay.
I haven't been there, nor do I really want to go. But there's also like this huge outdoor park that's everybody go like. So if you ever go to Arkansas, just let them know.
Bird.
You know me and yeah.
Okay.
Bird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The
With a
bird,
Y.
bird. Bird's the word.
Yeah. Okay. We're not doing that. But so the Godwins from Arkansas, they do not. Do they win this? I don't even know who wins this match. No, they don't because Henry hits the slop drop.
Slop drop. Yes.
Onto I think it was Skip.
Uh-huh.
But then Sonny distracts the referee and they do a little twin magic. Zip slides in where Skip was. And then Stupid Hog turns around and gets rolled up and gets beat. So the Body Donnas retain their tag team titles. And there's this whole like subplot with I think it's Phineas has a crush on Sonny.
Yes.
And it's all stupid, but yeah.
It's funny because like I know Sonny was trying to like distract, like get away from like Phineas and everything, but it's funny because like that's like the type of people that like cling on to her nowadays.
Yeah.
You
See,
know?
now, I mean, as long as you have a crisp $20 bill, she'll do anything.
Ooh.
So, well, you're gonna need more than that to pay her bail, but I digress.
Hey. But it's what's so funny that the way you described that last part of the match, the way it ended was similar to a Dr. Seuss book. You know what I'm saying? The Godwins do the dip on Skip, comes in Zip to do the flip, and now we get the win. Now we roll in our whip.
Bars. Absolute bar. Oh man. Vince loves it. Vince McMahon loves it.
Oh gosh.
I think Todd does
There
too.
is no better way to look cool.
So you've won the ring here.
That's cool with 3 O's. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lowercase C with a lot of uppercase O's.
Yeah,
and a lowercase
yeah,
L.
yeah.
Oh, we gotta bring up the mule kick. I think it was Phineas tried to do, was it a botch? Because he like gets on his hands and then like kicks his feet like a horse, I guess. But there's nobody behind him. And then he looks around. He's like, oh, he's over there. So he like pivots and it does it again. It doesn't connect. It looks dumb. They're trying stuff, I guess.
Dude, I was like confused. I was like, wait, what's happening here? You know what I'm saying? It was just... And it felt like I think the match was only supposed to be, I think the match was only like 20 minutes, but it felt like an hour, like watching it.
There's no shot this was 20 minutes. Maybe it was.
Maybe like total with entrances and stuff, but like maybe 15. But it felt long though.
Well, long could also be considered tall, and someone who's tall is Diesel, who's in this next match. He's going for the WWF title here as he faces off against his buddy Shawn Michaels. Well, not his buddy at this point. The new champion, Shawn Michaels. Mm-hmm. It's a no holds barred match against Diesel. And man, the show up to this point has been whatever, but this match made it a good show.
Yes.
I mean, I had never seen this match before, but this is probably, I've always said Diesel's matches with Brett were my favorite Kevin Nash matches, and they still might be, but this one's right up there too.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I might put I don't know. In time, I'll
because
change from day to day.
What year was it? Survivor Series 95, Brett versus Diesel. That was a good match.
Yeah. They also had a really good match at Royal
Rumble also too. Yes.
But those were more like technical, really good matches, where this one was kind of almost like an Attitude Era kind of match, where it was a lot of, it's no holds barred, so you have weapons. But weapons and table spots, like you didn't see that every day in WWF. So to see that in this match. The leg. Yeah, you don't see people ripping off people's legs and then hitting other people with it very much nowadays. But lots. Overall though, this match.
Yes.
What do you think about it,
dude? This was a good match to come off of the the wrestling technical thing that the Iron Man match was. And like up to this point, you just thought of HBK as just like a pure athlete, And so I thought these matches, and then actually matches leading into the In the House until like SummerSlam, he's done variations of different styles. So then you kind of get to see like he's not just only like a wrestler and an athlete, but he can actually do other things than just the super kick and just look flashy in the ring. Like he got pretty gritty in this one,
Yeah. From the very start, the way like the tone was set from the beginning, like Diesel comes out, takes his vest off from the ring, throws his vest at Vince.
Right.
So he has like that edge to him. And then Shawn comes out, no dancing, none of the hip thrusting, just walks out with just staring daggers into Diesel. They're both staring at each other as they come together in the ring.
Right.
I thought like the intensity at the beginning was awesome. And I feel like that set the tone for the entire match. But throughout this entire match, like I believed it. Like there was like believability that these guys hated each other, that they wanted to hurt each other. Because there's like a spot where like Shawn takes a chair from ringside, but it gets like caught up in like the cords and stuff from the announce table. But he doesn't care. He doesn't stop to like untangle everything. He just rips it. He like rips Jerry Lawler's headset into the ring and is hitting Diesel with it. Like it was just intense from start to finish, I thought. But like right from the beginning, it's a hot start. You got Shawn hitting a moonsault from the top rope to the outside on the Diesel. You got Shawn grabs a boot from the Spanish commentator, I guess, to hit. It's a common theme. I guess that was some foreshadowing. Right. It hits Diesel with somebody else's boot, which I don't know. Just kick him. I don't know.
Right.
But he's the champion. Who am I to tell him what to do? And then Diesel uses his wrist tape to just choke out the ref for no reason. Just fucking uncalled for. It takes off the ref's belt, whips Shawn with it, and then he hangs Shawn over the rope.
Yeah, over the rope. Yeah.
Whew, that was gnarly. And he hits him with a chair as he's hanging.
Yeah.
Any other like spots in this one stick out to you?
Well, you mentioned that one, the boot. And of course we got to talk about the Mad Dog Vachon, right? And his prosthetic leg, right? You know what I'm saying? Using a man's prosthesis leg as a weapon, You know what I'm saying?
It's
Talk about having a leg up in the competition. You know.
wait. What'd you say? I think you cut out.
I said, talk about having a leg up in the competition.
So we got does Mad Dog Vachon have any relation to any of these two, or is he from Nebraska?
I don't think he has any relation. I don't remember if he's from Nebraska, but I know he was just like a legend. And so,
Mad Dog Vachon. I bet he's from Nebraska. Well, he's Canadian, so that's not very good. But maybe he lived in Omaha. He died in Omaha. Shit, never mind. Did he die after this match? No.
No, I guess he died a little bit later.
Nebraska, let's assume at this point. But I guess he had a car accident earlier in his. I don't know exactly what point, but had to amputate his leg from what looked like the knee down or something like that. But he's ringside watching this match. They show him before this match, and I was like, that's a bit random, but whatever. He's a hometown guy. Right. But it ultimately comes into play at the end. Well, actually, before the end, we should say that Diesel jackknifes Shawn Michaels through the announce table, which, I mean, this is not like the modern day announce table where it's like a styrofoam thing that's meant to fall apart. It is just a table with a bunch of cords on it that are not meant to be slammed on.
Right. The monitor looked like it hurts. Like, you remember like those old like 90s like portable TVs? They had like those sharp corners. Like every time I see that spot, that's what I'm thinking that hurts the most. Is like when he collapsed in the middle and they all just come down on his abs. Like, I feel like he's getting poked. You know,
it's a hell of a visual though. Dude. But yeah, I'm sure it felt like shit.
Right.
And at this point, Vince is pissed. He's yelling at Diesel. Wow, let it be over.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on.
Diesel even grabs, he like slams Shawn through the table and then immediately just goes and grabs the belt, goes into the ring, puts the belt around his face. So good. But Shawn fights his way back up. Fire extinguisher to Diesel. Yes. He's blind. And this is when Shawn hits him with the chair with all the cords on it.
Right.
Hits the elbow drop, goes for the sweet chin music, but it's blocked. And Diesel hits a lariat. And then this is when Diesel goes out to old Mad Dog Vachon, grabs him, pulls him out, rips his leg off, goes to hit Shawn with it. But Shawn hits him with a low blow, grabs Mad Dog's leg, hits Diesel with the leg, and then hits him with his own leg. The sweet chin music, and then that gets the win. So Shawn retains the title. Diesel's out of here, but what a match to go out on! Again, awesome match.
Awesome match, and a good match to come off of WrestleMania 12 too. Like, it was exciting. It was like, you know, I guess you could say. I mean, I know Mad Dog couldn't do, but it was a stand up. You know what I'm saying? A standing ovation. You know what I'm saying?
So we got that brings it to a close. A very, very unique match too.
Yes.
You didn't see this type of stuff at this point. You had never really seen anything, at least in WWE.
You know what would make it better? You know what would make it better? If like Shawn took like whatever tape from the wrist tape that was left over and tied Mad Dog's foot to his sweet chin music foot, and then it would be both of his feet doing the sweet chin music. You know what I'm saying? The Mad Dog sweet chin music. You know.
You know what? If it made Mad Dog's leg, I mean, Mad Dog is dead, but maybe his leg's still around. So somebody needs to get a hold of that leg.
I'm telling you, that's the next episode for Hidden Treasures.
Mad Dog's leg. I mean, what else would Mad Dog have that anybody would give a shit about? I'm sure there's Mad Dog fans listening that are screaming at me, but
we have to have this leg in the warehouse.
Probably is. But yeah, good stuff there. But yeah, In Your House 7, if you had to grade this show from S to F, what do you think you would give it?
S to F. Ooh, you know what?
Yeah.
It was down there. Before this main event, it was there. But I'm gonna have to give it a C minus.
Okay.
You know, just because there was a lot of bad, but the one match is the reason to watch it. You know what? I'll bump it up to a B minus.
That's fair. I was thinking C plus myself.
Because HBK and Diesel,
maybe B minus.
HBK, Diesel, Vader, and Razor Ramon. You know, That's all you need to watch.
Yeah, I think the entertainment per minute on this show was good. Like, even like, look, the opening match with stupid Ahmed Johnson isn't a good match, but it's fun to watch him slither around there. And you got the Ultimate Warrior Goldust stuff, which it dragged a lot, but there was some entertainment there. And yeah, they've definitely had worse shows.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, that's
Especially
for sure.
In this era. I mean, this is a shining star, I thought.
Mhm.
But you know what else is a shining star?
Okay.
And I'm not talking about Primo and Epico. I'm talking about the GETCHO podcast. Once again, Juss, thank you for making the time to come on the show, talk a little wrestling. Where can everybody find you and listen to you?
Oh, you can find me on the GETCHO podcast on the Twitter, GETCHO podcast on Instagram. You can't find me there. You can find me on Marks and Mikes. We will be doing dropping an episode later on. It'll be called GETCHO All Stars with a bunch of people that are, affiliated with us and just, doing stuff. And then I got my Lichon Diaries, which is mostly about like me and Jizzy finding things on the internet and talking about adulting. So that's a thing too. Check that out too.
Hell yeah. Shout out.
Shout out.
Why don't you take us out with your best what impression can you do well? People that were on this show.
Let's see.
Let's do an Ahmed Johnson impression.
Ahmed Johnson. I don't have enough water to do an Ahmed Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Just stares at people, sweats. Yeah. You know what's funny? Before you go, there's a couple dark matches on this show that like actually were pretty. Well, I mean, they were decent. Like, but it had Undertaker and Mankind and Savio Vega versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's Stone Cold in 30 years.
Give me a hell yeah.
That's Stone melting.
That's Stone Metamucil is what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Once again, thank you to Juss from the GETCHO podcast for joining me on this lovely, lovely episode. Go check out the GETCHO podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. It's always many chortles are had listening to the GETCHO podcast. Great group of guys over there, so go check them out. Follow them on social media as well. Do all that. Follow me if you want. If you don't want to, I understand. I kind of suck. That's what else is there to do? Oh, I know. Hit it. WCW, ECW, WWF. Who's the hardest promotion? Eric or Vince or Paulie? I think we can agree, though, it's mostly shit. So if you haven't listened/watched this before, I'll give you the quick rundown. Basically, what happens here is we look at this show and see if this show brought us the worst of 1996, the best of 1996. We also kind of look at the company as a whole and see if the in-ring, out-of-ring stuff has become the best, has become the worst among the three major companies in North America. And we keep doing this until we reach the end of 1996. And whoever wins, whoever has the most points, well, your boy, the hardest part of the ring, will buy a championship belt of the company that wins. And what are these points, you ask? Hypothetical listener. Well, they're based on many criteria, but the first of which is where we'll start by whoever has the highest average pay-per-view grade. And we grade the pay-per-views or events or whatever the hell from a scale of S to F, S being the highest, F being the lowest. And yeah, In Your House 7, good friends, better enemies. What are we thinking, gang? What are we thinking? At least a C for sure. I think it's better than In Your House 6, which we gave a B. Or is it though? I would say the peak of this show was better than In Your House 6. I think In Your House 6 might have been better, kind of just spread out more throughout the show. I think this one had more peaks and valleys. In Your House 7. So you know what, man? I think we throw a B at it. Maybe B minus, but I think it's definitely B worthy. There was a lot of, like I said in the podcast, man, even like the stuff that wasn't, and I quote, like quote unquote, good, it was very entertaining. It was very entertaining. The entertainment per minute, as I think I said in the podcast, is kind of what's important here. So we're gonna throw a B at In Your House 7. I think that's fair. So we then go back to this tab and we look at the averages. And this takes into account, obviously, all of the pay-per-views that have happened up to this point in 1996. And as of right now, WWF still has the highest average grade of a B. So we're pretty consistently good so far, WWF. I guess ECW would have a D and WCW would have a D minus. I don't know. But point is, WWF is still in the lead there. So we bring us to the overall scorecard here. Best overall average grade gets 6 points, which, as I mentioned, is WWF. So they get 6 points. And as of right now, I should say, the overall scores, WWF is sweeping the board with 22 points. WCW and ECW both with 0, but we got a lot of year left, a lot of things happening in 1996. So no one is out of the woods yet. So best pay-per-view of 1996. I think, did I give WrestleMania an A? I think I did. So I guess WrestleMania 12 would still be the best of the year so far, which is WWF. So WWF maintains those points. And worst pay-per-view, still Super Brawl 1996. Obviously, this show is not the worst. Best. So which company has the best overall in-ring at this point? Currently tracking WWF. Did this show change that at all? I don't think so, man. I mean, ECW, I think ECW has the tools. They just haven't shown them yet. WCW even too, because in WCW, we're not at the cruiserweight division yet, really. So as of right now, I think we'll keep it at WWF, which gives them 4 points. Best match, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. You know what, man? This isn't going to change the points at all because it's still WWF. But I think we're going to... I enjoyed Shawn Michaels and Diesel more than I enjoyed Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania. So, again, still WWF, but I think Shawn and Diesel takes the lead here. I feel like it's been a while since we had like a change on this, but yeah, Shawn and Diesel, I fucking loved it, man. Super, super entertaining. Great drama. Believable. Good stuff. And, you know, Mad Dog for Shawn's leg, which I don't think any other match this year has had. So, worst match. Ooh. So was Goldust and Warrior a match? I guess technically, right? It was a count out. Brother. So right now we're tracking Hogan and Giant from Super Brawl as the worst match. I think we might give this one to Warrior. And I think we got to, right? God, it was just fucking bad all around. I mean, it wasn't a match, first of all, but it was. And I could forgive it if the hullabaloo around it was good, but it wasn't. You got Mantaur and a fedora. Yeah, dude, we gotta change this, I think. Ultimate Warrior versus Goldust in Your House 7. Wow, we got the best match of the year and the worst match of the year on one show. How about that? Yeah. So that becomes WWF. So now WCW has a point because they no longer have the negative of having the worst match. And WWF loses a point, still very much in the lead. But now WCW is back on the board with 1 point. So well, slow that the hair beats off the turtle or whatever the saying is. Roster, star power, best overall. You know what? We'll just keep it at WCW for now, but there's a lot of flux about to happen. So I can't say anything on this show would really change that. So we're gonna keep it at WCW, but we'll keep an eye on that. I think that one's definitely gonna flip flop a little bit. Wrestler of the year, Shawn Michaels. I mean, he just had another best match of the year, so it's hard to say otherwise. So we'll keep it at Shawn for now. Worst wrestler of the year, Hulk Hogan. I don't think it's Ultimate Warrior simply because of the fact that I don't think he wrestles a lot this year. So, and Hulk Hogan's just all over the place. But especially as of this point, pre NWO, I mean, everything Hulk Hogan turns to shit. So everything he touches turns to shit. So, anyone else? Ahmed Johnson? No, because he's still entertaining. Skip, Zip, perhaps. Godwin's. No, I think Hogan still has that for now. Yeah. Out of ring. So which company overall has the best out of ring stuff? So gimmicks, characters, promos, storylines, what have you. Right now, we're tracking WWF. I guess, yeah, WWF. Because you got the underlying stuff, even though it wasn't represented on this pay-per-view. You still got Mankind and Undertaker kicking off. You got Shawn and Diesel, which is, I guess technically is still ongoing. Even though that's obviously Diesel's about to leave, Razor's about to leave. So again, this is another one that's probably going to change a lot here pretty soon. But we'll keep it as WWF because none of the other companies really have much going on. You could argue ECW. They have some good stuff, but it's like very few and far between. Whereas I think WWF's a little bit more consistent throughout. So we'll keep that WWF. Best character storyline. Now we're tracking Goldust, but as per the worst match, I think he's still a great character though. Even though he's not in a particularly good feud as of right now, I think the strength of his character is far beyond anything that anyone else is doing up at this point. But mind you, we're approaching the summer of 1996, so we got some new world orders. Might change some things, but we'll keep it Goldust for now. Worst character, Dungeon of Doom. Do we throw Mantaur and a fedora in there? No, it's still Dungeon of Doom for now. And that's it. So we got a new best match and a new worst match of the year so far. Shawn and Diesel as the best, Warrior and Goldust as the worst. It's a very eventful show with that in mind, but that about wraps it up. So yeah, WWF with 21, WCW with 1, ECW with 0. So, but a lot of year to go, like I said. So, but I think that about does it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for tickling my nipples. And thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. Okay, yeah, I had to look the lyrics up. Go fuck yourself. Thank you guys so much for listening. I love you all. Can I make the Golden Girls song my new theme? I'm a workshop. How's it sound? Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a great day. This is how we end the show now. I kind of like it. Maybe that's the new song. We'll sit on it. We'll sleep on that one. I'm Hard.